As a brand new parent, you want to give your newborn the absolute best start in life. But what many parents don't realize is that even the most normal birth process puts a tremendous amount of physical stress on your baby's delicate body, particularly their brainstem, their neck, and their nervous system. In the US, nearly 1 in 3 births now end in a C-section. And when you add in other interventions like inductions, forceps, vacuum deliveries, and manual assistance, the physical impact of birth becomes even more significant. Even in natural, intervention-free births, the process of labor and delivery places an immense pressure on an infant's spine and nervous system. This stress can create subtle but impactful birth trauma, leading to neurological interference caused by misalignments that we call subluxations. These can influence a child's development, their nervous system regulation, and their overall health from the very beginning. And during those first few weeks of life especially, many parents notice their newborns struggling with excessive crying, trouble nursing, reflux, colic, constipation, or poor sleep. These symptoms are often dismissed as normal baby problems that they'll grow out of. But what if these signs are actually early indicators of underlying nervous system dysfunction that can be addressed? Well, if you're an expecting parent or you have a newborn at home and you want to ensure that your baby has the healthiest, most balanced start to life, this message is for you. I want to explain how birth trauma affects your baby's nervous system, why common newborn challenges might be symptoms of something deeper neurologically, and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help correct these patterns before they develop into long-term health issues. In a recent study from the American Osteopathic Association, researchers found that 99% of healthy newborns showed signs of subluxation, what they called somatic dysfunction. And the severity increased with longer labors and the use of interventions like induction methods, epidurals, vacuum or forceps extractions, and C-sections. And that number might sound staggering, especially since conventional pediatricians aren't trained to detect or address these kinds of dysfunctions, but we've seen the same in our own practice. Even babies born naturally and without any intervention can benefit tremendously from early chiropractic evaluations. It's critical to find and correct those subluxations early because they can cause problems with things like nursing, digestion, sleep, and soothing. And these aren't issues that children just grow out of. Because of their location in that neurospinal system, especially around the brainstem and the upper neck, these misalignments often end up affecting motor development, fine and gross motor coordination, speech, and even emotional regulation as time goes on. And remember, infants can't protect or control their head and neck at birth. They have no muscular support yet, which means any birth interventions or manual assistance during delivery can have a greater impact on their neurospinal system. When we talk about subluxation, there's 3 key components. First is misalignment. This can lead to trouble with latching, neck tightness, and even flat spots on their head. Second is fixation, or a lack of proper movement. Babies need healthy spinal motion to send input to the brain, and when that movement is restricted, it reduces the brain's ability to process the world appropriately. And third is neurological interference. Misalignments or subluxations can disrupt the communication between the brain and the body, throwing off regulation and development altogether. And that brainstem and upper neck region plays a massive role in motor tone, control, and coordination. Think of it like the air traffic control for the entire body. When these nerves and muscles are out of sync, it affects all motor development downstream, and motor development is brain development. The vagus nerve, which also originates in the upper neck and brainstem, is the command center for your baby's parasympathetic nervous system, which is their rest, digest, and regulate response. And when subluxation disrupts vagus nerve function, we start to see digestive problems, trouble breathing, immune system struggles, and even delays in developmental milestones. So many of those normal baby problems that we hear about, like colic, reflux, nursing difficulties, or sleep challenges, are often signs of a nervous system that's stuck in stress mode. Colic and constant crying can be your baby's way of expressing that their system is overwhelmed. Nursing issues can stem from misalignments affecting the cranial nerves that control those delicate fine motor movements, and reflux often traces back to vagus nerve disruption. Sleep challenges are also common when the nervous system is stuck in sympathetic overdrive, which makes it nearly impossible for that baby to wind down and rest. Now, let's talk about the adjustment itself. Neurologically focused chiropractic adjustments for newborns are so incredibly gentle. Think the same pressure that you'd use to check the ripeness of a tomato, or by lightly pressing your eyelid. These specific gentle techniques help release that tension and restore healthy communication between the brain and the body so your baby can function at their very best. Practices like ours also use advanced insight scanning technology to measure exactly where stress is showing up in the nervous system. These scans help us guide individualized care, and they help us track progress over time. Your baby's first year is this time of explosive neurological growth. Their brain more than doubles in size, and it forms over 1 million new connections every single second. The patterns that we set in this early window lay the foundation for their immune health, sensory processing, motor development, sleep, and regulation for years to come. That's why addressing nervous system stress right from the start can be so transformative, not just to relieve short-term symptoms like reflux or colic, but to help your child thrive long-term with better immunity, calmer regulation, and stronger development. So don't wait. If you have noticed any of these common but not normal baby struggles, or you simply want to be proactive about your newborn's health, bring them in to get checked. Here at Foundations, we specialize in gentle care for newborns using specific assessments, including Insight thermal and HRV scans, to pinpoint that nervous system stress and then create a personalized plan to help your baby to thrive. You can learn more by clicking the link in our bio or heading over to our website. We know how precious and overwhelming those newborn days can feel, and that's why we're here, to guide you, to support you, and to help your baby grow into the healthiest, happiest versions of themselves. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop a comment, send us a DM, or give us a call. We're here for you every step of the way.